All right. Oh, you're changing colors.
Yeah, because it's time.
Because what?
It's time.
It's always time for something. Hello.
Good morning.
Welcome. Oh, this is going to get so stuck. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Dear Becky and Lizzie edition.
I'm playing around with hairstyles, so I don't think this is going to hold, but you know. Hi. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Overcast. We're gonna be fine today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm a minion there.
I'm saying ew because you know how it was like when the bikes were on our window. I'm like, there's been worse things on our window.
Yeah.
There is like the grossest looking toddler hand smudge on our window right now. We have the like wash your hands, like you just ate Cheetos and want to knit or crochet with pure white yarn. It's been up there for years.
Yeah.
So we don't have a window washer who comes around and washes the windows like once a month or once every couple weeks. We spot clean ourselves kind of when things need to be rebuilt because we like that phrase on our windows. It's been fun, but that also means our windows haven't really been cleaned in a very long time. And the only time it's really noticeable is when someone goobery does something goobery on the windows. And that's gross. And I don't think that was there yesterday. I would have noticed.
Yeah. Parents, keep an eye on your kids because you don't know what they're touching.
Yes, they might be touching windows that haven't been cleaned, except for when other goobery toddlers touch the windows.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
Kind of gross.
It's kind of gross. I don't remember seeing small children yesterday. It was probably dinner. It's probably once we already went home. Well, guess what I'll be doing today? Part of my day.
I should get the ladder out and actually fix the
it's the same pane that has the curtain that's all messed up. It's
like a foot and a half lower than it should be.
I think that window pane is just seen some stuff. Anyway, so it is the Dear Becky and Lizzie edition of our show, and we have some like possible subjects to keep us busy for the foreseeable future if we choose to indulge in them. I think allergies have hit. I've got sinusy something, not an infection, not COVID. Although whenever someone walks up to our shop, it's like, I'm sick, but it's not COVID. We're like,
it's ragweed season here. So like
I'm not feeling like sick, right? I'm just
you need Zyrtec or Claret.
Yeah, I'm trying to do Sudafed right now. It's not working.
Something probably more than Sudafed.
I know, but that means going to a store, and I haven't done that yet. So, so the focus, long story long, what I'm trying to say is my focus is a little scattered right now. How is that different than any other day, you might ask? And I will say, probably it isn't, but I feel a little like my face just hurts. I'll be fine, but my face just hurts. So, that made for a rough beginning of the week, I will tell you, to come back from vacation and, you know, whatever we're calling it, the break, and say I got all this rest, and yet I'm tired. But I think that was figuring out why my face hurt.
Well, it was like,
and also getting back in a routine.
Getting back into the routine, and you know, we've had some quite busy days. Thanksgiving. It you know, going from 0 to 130. Like, yeah, it. And like you and other teachers on Zoom knit evenings have talked about. It's like you got a break. Yay, I got rest, and then turn around and like you walk through the door and it's all sucked right out of
Bam! Slaps you in the face. Yes, so we are dealing with that this week as well. But no, I mean, we did talk about how we could expound upon Christmas ideas a little bit more. It 'tis the season to be getting ready for Christmas or whatever holiday things. There's a lot of different holiday traditions from different faiths or backgrounds or other things that do happen in December. Even if they aren't all as important to that tradition as Christmas, they tend to be elevated because, hey, it's gift giving time. I feel like, sidebar, in the retail world, honestly, you are moving from one holiday or gift giving opportunity to another. Like, there's so much of retail and shopping that is structured around, let's get ready for the next big thing where you want to buy stuff and give it to someone you know. So, we like, even things as I don't want to say trivial because it's not necessarily for some people, but after Valentine's Day, not calling that one trivial. I mean, y'all know what I'm going through, so but then it's like the supermarket gets ready for like St. Patty's Day or something, which most people wouldn't put on the same par with
and
Valentine's
then
Day.
barbecue season for,
and then 4th of July, and then it's always like, what is the next thing that you want to buy stuff for?
Yeah.
So Christmas is one of the bigger gift giving times, but we're always aiming for. You'll find that in retail. I feel like yarn shops are a little different than that, but you will find advertising aimed for the next thing they want you to spend money on.
And because yarn shops, craft shops, Michael's, Joann's and everything like that, if you're decorating or you're actually making something for those events, you kind of have to start early.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to fall into the not good habit of Thanksgiving hits, and then I go, poop, it's almost Christmas time. Let's make presents.
But you also tend to make smaller things
sometimes.
Yeah, but some people are like, ooh, I want to make sweaters, or last year I wanted to make shawls.
And that is totally chicken or egg thing for me. Of the smaller things means I can start later, or because I started later, I have to make smaller things.
Yeah.
I recommend, if possible, making smaller things. If depending on, like, if we could put up a graph chart of like the number of presents you need to accomplish if you're going to be knitting or crocheting them. And I feel like this is in my face, that's my fault. Like proportional to the size, like as the number of people you're making things for grows, the size of what you're making should shrink so you can get them done, like could be a line like this. Yes, you did decide. Was that last Christmas that you made all
last year? Yeah.
She made 4 papillons. That's crazy. I mean, it's wonderful, but a little crazy.
It was a lot crazy. It because I started like in May.
And she started way ahead of time, and you want to talk about a chart of like, where you can graph it. It was like, I have plenty of time. I have plenty of time. I have plenty of time. Oh no, I'm running out of time. Yeah. It's like, as the deadline got closer, the panic grew.
I got everything. I got all 4 papillons done within a week of the mailing deadline, and still had to make 8 hats. Or 6 hats, or I don't know.
Yeah.
And
it just scratched myself.
So I saved the little things.
I was gonna say, sounds like a personal problem.
Pretty much only worked on the little things for the last, and then went, oh, they're all done. But yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
It was just.
So I have a thought. Like, my brainstorm right now for my Christmas is like my making things for others. Is I have already decided we're gonna do a Viking gnome knit / crochet along for both November and December, and I'm thinking that not that the Vikings are gonna be quick. They might be. I don't know yet. I haven't even tried. But the Viking gnomes. But I'm thinking everyone in my family may be getting little Viking gnomes for Christmas, and it might just be I might just change the colors. Like, are they functional? No. I have given my family so many functional items that I don't even know if they wear or use, that they may just have to get a non-functional Christmas.
Well, sometimes decorative items, little tchotchkes
just have to make sure
out,
they don't leave them around the dog, because the dog likes to eat their dog. My sister's dog likes to eat yarn things. So pot holders, other things, socks, like dish towels have all ended up in his stomach. He's needed surgery at least once. Has he learned? No. It's pretty much don't leave things down near the dog ever, especially if you're not going to be home. But
goldfish and golden retrievers.
I was like goldfish. He doesn't eat goldfish. So I would say my cat doesn't learn either. Although, okay, I have not tried to put a collar on my cat. He's about to turn 8 next month. I gave up putting a collar on him years ago. Haven't even tried. I did go through maybe 4 or 5 years ago trying to see if I could get him in a harness. But it's one of those you got to put their feet through, and then, and I don't even think I got as far as trying to put it on him. I just recently got one of those. It's only a few straps, and you got to put the strap over his head and then buckle it around him. And the shout out to the Grateful Dog. Like, I went in and asked, and they hooked me up with one. And they're like, this one, the bigger ones tend to be more confining. So this one, it isn't as confining. I still cannot get this thing over his head. Like, I tried to put over his, or just getting it near his face. He, had flashbacks to having a collar on, and he ran under the couch. And it's like, that you remember. That when you eat pine needles, they don't go down, and you either get stopped up or they come back up. That you can't remember. And that happened last week. But the collar from like, when you were a kitten, that you remember. Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yes. Christmas presents. and I don't make presents for my cat. It's just not worth it. Or the dog that I go visit, because he gets
they want
toys
sweet
that he
Georgia
rips
yarn.
You have to explain that.
We
because people at home are going, huh?
Years, like right after you opened, someone came in and wanted to make a dog sweater for her.
In the first year
for her little dog, and it needed to be sweet Georgia. It's a hand dyed.
It's a fancy yarn, but she wanted to make a dog sweater out of it.
Yes,
and that's fine. People can make things out of whatever they want to, but that's Liz's joke, is use the fancy yarn.
So now when Rebecca's like, my cat needs a cat bed, I'm like, Avi wants sweet Georgia. He does.
I am of the opinion that whatever someone wants to make,
I know,
whatever they want to spend, I work with your budget. And if your budget is sweet Georgia for your dog, that's fantastic. Love it. But if you come in and say, yeah, that's no, we'll try to find something else. Absolutely. So, yeah. But no, gifts are challenging because I say, first of all, try to strike a balance between what they might want, if and what you will enjoy working with. Because they might make requests that as you're sitting there knitting or crocheting it, you are hating every single step of it. And that's not fun. Sometimes that's necessary, right? But that's not fun.
You're doing presents. I might not even ask, like, what would you like? Because that opens the door to, like when you were a teacher and you'd make little things for your graduating class. And they'd be like, oh, make me a pair of socks, or make me fingerless mittens, or make me gloves. Like,
because I would say, hey, pick something small. I'll make it for you. And they would pick that because it's small, not understanding that this is not a big item, but it takes as long, if not longer, than some bigger items to make. Yeah. But yes. The flip side of that for me is I will ask my family, hey, what do you want? What do you want for Christmas? I want to make you something that you want. And they'll be like, I don't know. And I'm not knocking them, because I totally get it. If someone is not a crafter, they won't necessarily, they tend to be two categories. They either will ask for something extravagant, not understanding it's extravagant. You're like, oh, you can make, we have so many people who come in with friends who are moral support, and we love it. who come in like, oh yeah, you can make me one of these. Not understanding like this sweater or something. Oh, you can knock that out. Not understanding that
in
takes
like a couple
considerable
of
amount,
days.
right? They expect it can happen like overnight. Or people who are like, I don't know what I want. Or like if we say, hey, I can make you this, or I can make you this, or I can, too many options. And they're just like, what? And the last thing I want to do for someone I'm giving a gift to is overwhelm them or make them kind of resent the gift even before they get it, because they're like, you're making me like choose, and you're making me like, it's weird though, because there's this double bind, right, of like, I don't want to choose and I don't want to have these expectations put on me, but I really want this color and this thing and maybe this thing. It's like they don't want to choose, but then if you don't choose correctly for them, then they're like, what is this? So it's just like, the struggle is real. And I would throw in there, I mean, all the things that come up for me when someone asks about like gift giving or gift making or, stuff like that. The other thing that also comes up for me is, and I think I just lost it, but there was a thing and I got distracted by something outside. I think I lost it. This is the sinus pressure right now. It's just making my brain go, what? It might come back to me. What else would you say about gifts and things?
I don't generally ask my family what they want. They either get hats
I remember
or shawls, like,
mm-hmm.
And I might ask what colors.
Yeah, sometimes just asking, hey, if I make you something, what colors would you like?
Yeah. Especially if you're not like right there with them and know they're, like we've noticed the last couple of weeks that people are coming in and they'll come up to the counter with their yarn, and their yarn matches exactly what they're wearing because those are their favorite color
and they are not aware of this.
Yeah,
like until we point it out, if we point it out, they may not realize that, yeah, it coordinates with the clothes they have on, right? Yeah, but because people like colors.
Occasionally someone will come in and go, I'm trying to get out of my color range, and they'll still have an armful of yarn that matches what they're wearing, but then they pick something completely random, like,
The thing I was going to say before about gift giving also is one of the challenges when you are a crafter and you give a gift is, to some extent, you kind of have to let go of it once it has been given. I see a lot of things on the message boards and the Facebook groups and stuff of people who make stuff and then are upset if it's not appreciated enough, or if someone's not wearing it, or if someone's not, if they don't feel like it's getting the respect it deserves. And I'm with you on that in my inside voice. In my outside, like, of there's a certain amount of, because they'll be like, they're ungrateful, and like they should, and sometimes they talk to that person and they say, I said, hey, what about blah blah blah, and then the resentment rises and stuff. For my outside voice, like when I give this wedding blanket I'm about to give, the quilt I made for my cousin, other ones like that, it's like, to some extent, once I give it, it's like, I'll tell them how to take care of it. And then it's kind of like, it is yours now. Do with it what you want. If you thank me for it, awesome. If you don't thank me for it, I know in my heart I've done what I wanted to do. And if you use it, great. And if you don't use it, I kind of have to be okay. I mean, I don't have to be okay with that, but at least on the surface, on the outside, when I'm relating to that person, I will let go as much as I can. Inside, or to my friends, I might be like, ah! But I'm not going to be like, why aren't you using my blanket? I need to see it when I come over, and that's me. You're about to say something.
I feel the same way. And it's like,
it's tough sometimes.
If you're going to make something for someone, it's a gift, it's theirs, and they can decide what to do with it. If you don't like how they dealt with it, don't make them anything else.
Yeah, then they're not knit worthy. They go
like,
in the not knit worthy category.
And if they're miles and miles away, you don't know, like you have no control over whether you see it on them. Like if they don't post pictures on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you're not ever going to know if they're wearing the scarf every day.
Right.
I gave my girlfriend a scarf before. Actually, I gave her two scarves. One was, it was like Lion Brand Thick and Quick. It was the chunkiest, widest, ugliest scarf ever. At least that was her description of it when I gave it to her. She was like, what the heck? I'm like, Crystal, you're moving to Alaska. You're gonna need something warm. And she goes, Liz, it's ugly and I'm not ever going to wear it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Love you. Bye-bye. And she came back home after 3 years in Alaska and she was like, that scarf has saved my life. So sometimes the initial reactions
Sometimes
to
they don't understand.
Yeah, the initial reactions
done
to
to them.
something may not be what happens later. Like you could give the blanket and they're, oh cool, it's going in a drawer. But then a really cold winter day and that blanket is going to be put on top of everything because it's warm.
Mm-hmm. And I see stories on the Facebook groups, the interwebs, and some of them, like some of them are kind of based on expectations that it could be generational, it could be other things, but assumptions of propriety that not everybody follows, unfortunately. And it could mean like they're like, I made them this gorgeous blanket and I sent it and I never got a thank you for it. And how dare they? Because I put all this time and energy. And I'm not saying you shouldn't feel that way. I can't tell you how to feel, right? And you could be super offended, but know that they may actually super appreciate it, but not have understood that they were supposed to reach out and thank you for it. Like, I grew up in the generation of thank you notes and I kind of resented having to write them, but it was propriety and it was expected, and there are really good reasons to do it because then someone knows you appreciate their gift, that kind of thing. Not everybody either was raised to do that or understands that it's expected to do that or is expects to do that, to have that done for them. And so it could be that that person super appreciates what you did, but either doesn't know how to convey it or doesn't know what's expected by your set of beliefs of what's expected, and it could be that they got it and said, what is this trash? And then I don't think they're very nice people, but like, but to assume that they disrespected your gift because you didn't hear from them or something, then it becomes dicey, because then trying to check in about it or say, hey, you didn't write a thank you note, then all of a sudden everyone's backs up against the wall. Like, I feel like I want to go to my therapy lessons of when they're like, use I language instead of attacking, say, hey, I'm feeling like, not instead of like, you didn't write me a thank you note, that kind of thing. Like, it's tough. It's, sometimes you need to let someone know how you feel, but also be prepared for the consequences. If you come at someone saying, you didn't like my gift, you don't know how much time I spent on this, you may not get a really nice reply back and things may be strained, So, but I like going back to what we were saying before of if someone doesn't appreciate your gift, one tactic could be, like, again, can't tell you how to feel. You can get really upset about that and you can be absolutely in your right to be upset about that. But one thing to throw out there, instead of maybe attacking them or having it lead to strained relations, it could just be like, okay, I put my time and energy into this beautiful thing I made for them. And since they kind of went meh about it, I'm not going to put the time and energy or the money into something for them again. I will focus on someone who did appreciate all the time and energy and money that I put into what I made for them. This set of family is getting hand knit gifts next Christmas, and this set of family, if I'm even giving them something, I'll get them I'll get them gift cards. You know, it's like you start to pick and choose. I'm a big fan of do what fills you with joy. I'm still struggling with that myself sometimes. But it's figuring out what is going to, if it is still going to give you joy to knit and crochet for everybody, even if they don't appreciate it, if you can still find joy in it for yourself, keep doing it. If it's, oh my gosh, they're expecting it, ugh, don't do it.
It
sounds simple, right?
There are lots of charity knits.
Mm.
So, you know, you can always do I knitted a hat for this charity and put a little gift card in their box and
yeah.
On your behalf, I knitted a hat for this charity. Like yeah.
Like that. If I get gifts from my family all the time, that a donation has been made in your name to this charity. And it could say a hat has been knitted.
I knitted
in your name.
Knitted knockers for this charity.
Yeah, we should do knitted knockers next month. Yeah. It's I like that idea. It's like I still want to craft and I still want to feel good about what I'm doing,
and I don't trust them with X, Y, or Z. So I'll donate.
Inside voice goes, you don't appreciate my gifts. So guess what? I have donated some items that I handmade in your name. I like that idea. And you could find a balance. You do what makes you happy. And if what makes you happy is to make something and donate it, or to make something and put it in the closet and make something else, you should do what makes you happy. That's absolutely. I like that.
And leave the door open, because even if they don't like it immediately, they might like it later on. And
they might appreciate, like her friend with the scarf, they might appreciate it later.
Yeah. Like I knew Crystal wasn't gonna like it when I gave it to her. Like I knew that. But I also knew she was moving to Alaska and was gonna need a warm scarf.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and it was years later that she was like, oh, by the way, I really, 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 really appreciated the fact that you gave me the ugliest scarf in the world 3 years ago. But it took me a while to appreciate that it was functional. So, you know. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
There you go, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm getting sidetracked by thinking about other things as we're getting closer to the shop opening. But half the time when I make things for family especially, I think about what they might like. So if they have no clue, I try to surprise them. Like my niece likes dragons. So I will check in and say, okay, what's her favorite color? And if I made her like a stuffed dragon, which she's getting older, would she still appreciate that? I'll bounce some questions. I think I've learned not to do the open-ended, or who I can do open-ended questions with. Hey, what do you want? Would you like something? And who, which is most of my family, I should just make something, you know. And sometimes I get stuck in the whole, well, I've already made them hats, I can't make that again. But some of my family, all they wear are hats all the time, inside and out, indoors now. So I'll make them another hat.
Several years ago, I made my entire family themed hats and then customized each hat. Like I did minion hats.
I was going to say, is that the minion hat?
It was the minion hat. So like the entire family, and I probably need to do this again because, you know, everybody's changed sizes, but I picked a theme and everybody got a minion hat. My sisters had purple pink. She was a purple minion. And my dad's had little white goatee and gray haired minion. And my brother-in-laws had a full beard minion. And I did different minions for each of, you know, I personalized them.
Well, and I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Like I've picked out for the knit along, I've picked out at least knit and crochet along. I've picked out at least 4 patterns, like 2 knit and 2 crochet gnome patterns. I think there's a couple more out there that are Viking gnomes. I'm either going to make them in different colors or I might make other gnomes. I don't have to do the Viking gnomes. That's, you know, I could just make a whole bunch of different gnomes. I have to decide, am I, the adventurous, I have all the time in the world side of me wants to make a different gnome for every single
Probably
person.
do a Yukon Husky for your or gnome.
I'm at least going to use Yukon Husky colors. Absolutely, for my mom. I mean, hands down. Maybe even for my dad. My moms and dads will probably coordinate in some way. But like I found a really cute reindeer gnome. It's like I think they'd appreciate it more if they all were completely unique and individual rather than the same one in different colors. But the streamlining the process, depending again, how many people you have to make gifts for, how complicated the gifts are, as the number goes up, the complication should go down. That could mean just taking the same pattern, different colors. Whole family of all, yeah. Those aren't necessarily functional, like we were saying before, but there's a theme and there, yeah, anyway. That's my last thought on that. But we need to wrap up in a second to open up the shop. I did want to make a note. I put this on Instagram before we went on break. Part of the reason we have holes here and holes other places is we scooped a whole bunch of yarns off the wall. Like we had to make some serious choices and say these yarns either are discontinued or not selling well, even though they're lovely, or not necessarily they're one of our more cost-effective yarns, but again, they're not selling, but they'd be great for projects. So our under the pretty wall area, you can't even really see, it's down there. The box is down here. Everything at the base of the pretty wall is part of our sale bins, and it's 20% off. Like this is not stuff we list online because it's just too complicated. But it means we have, like, we were starting to get really low because we pre-boxed things for the Surprise Me sale bin support boxes that we started during the pandemic. But now it's full down there again. And so now it's back to, we have some stuff boxed up, ready to go for people who walk in. But you all, if you want to order, special order online, the original idea of the Surprise Me sale bin support boxes was if you buy a box at a certain value and you can make some requests, like it's yarn we pull from the sale bins, that if you buy it just from the sale bins is 20% off. If we box it up for you, it's 50% off, but you have to take what we send you. So you could make requests, like you could request colors or thicknesses of yarn or fibers, or, you can request as much as detailed as you want, apart from requesting, like, if you request a certain yarn brand, no, that's too detailed. But, and one sec before you, because I'm sure this either is what you're going to say or you're going to add something really nice to it. You can make requests. We cannot guarantee that we can fulfill them. We will try to hit as many of your requests as possible. Like, you want red yarn that's DK, that's superwash merino. We might have red yarn that's DK. Or we might have none of those. We might only have red yarn, but it's super bulky. Or we might have, we will try to get as close to what your request as possible, but you will get fun yarn. If you're okay with a surprise, it's really great value. What were you, if you,
I am going to say, so yes, it is full. The primary weight of yarn that I have, most of, like, everything else was dwindling or made up into boxes already, is chunky or bulky weight. So number 5, like,
okay, we have some that's number 4.
Yeah, but it's not in the grand scheme of things a lot. It's 2 yarns.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Most of what we have is on the thicker end rather than the thinner. Yeah. So if you make requests for like lace weight or fingering weight, you may not get that. If you're okay with a surprise of yarns from our shop, some of them are economical yarns, so not super expensive, and some of them are fancy yarns. If you're okay with a surprise, then Liz usually works pretty hard to make sure that you don't have just a random gobbledygook, that you have something that you can coordinate or maybe use the whole box to make something out of, or a few things that pair well together or separately can work on their own. She's pretty good at cultivating. things to send you. So know that if you would like to buy the Surprise Me sale bin support boxes online, when you buy them online, you can make requests. Again, if you say, I want Noro, we're going to say no. But if you say, I want multicolored and some wool and some, you might end up with some Noro. I don't know if there's any
don't
Noro.
think we have any
I
Noro
was
left.
using that as an
I know.
example.
Just
I was just saying, yeah.
putting that out there
Mhm.
because we don't have any. So if
Well,
you
that's
were
why,
hoping
that's
for
part of
some-
why if you request a certain brand or type or like name of yarn, that doesn't work because A, we might not have it, and B, like that is trying to work the system too much to your favor. It's meant to just be, hey, I would like some really good value yarn. So, all right. Yay, back our first full week. Woohoo! Reminders that tomorrow night is virtual sit and stitch. Friday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Use the shop phone number to get it on Zoom.
828-877-3550.
And then Sunday afternoon, if nighttime doesn't work for you, you can try coming if you'd like to Sunday afternoon. We will be on Zoom and on Facebook Live from 1 to 5 p.m. You can check out and see how it goes. Come for a little bit if you want to. Stay if you can. That is, so Sunday is the 18th from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. The Zoom is still that shop phone number. Facebook Live, just go to our Facebook page and you'll see me and hear Zoom. And if you'd like to see other people that are attending, come to the Zoom. And other than that, I think that's it. I still have a couple of spots in my Fix Your Mistakes class this Saturday. If you are able to come locally, contact the shop. There's just a little bit of prep work that worst case scenario, we can figure out something for you to use here. But I find it's nice for people to work with yarn they have, not necessarily projects that they have. I have you knit up a little swatch and I can give you instructions real fast for that if you'd like to come to the Fix Your Mistakes class. I think it's a fun, like, learn what to do if craziness happens type of class. And
it's my favorite.
I like to I'm gonna try to offer this every few months. So we'll see if it comes up more often or less often. It all depends on interest. So and we think, last little thing for people coming in this weekend, we think that the streets are going to be shut down for a festival. I'm waiting for, I mean, I'm pretty sure they are. I'm waiting for verification, but I'm pretty sure they are this Saturday. I'm actually going to email the people who are in that class to give them a heads up. Plan ahead because parking maybe, I don't think we're going to get swarmed with people this weekend necessarily. We have the Art is in the Air festival, which is super cute. If you want to see people painting downtown and lots of crafters selling things and stuff. I don't think we're going to have thousands of people here or anything, but I think it will be more challenging to find parking because the main streets where there is street parking will be closed off for the festival. So on Saturday, I think there's something on Sunday too, but we won't be here Sunday. So anyway, have a wonderful weekend if we don't see you. What's the like, subscribe with Jenna?
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff.
All the fun
Comments.
stuff. Yeah. And we will see y'all next week, if not before. Bye.
I almost got 2 full ribs done.